when things come at you, you alluded to something. Some things are worthy of your attention and some aren't. And personally, it's difficult for me on a daily basis. And I think it's probably amplified for you more so than me, where you're going to say yes, hopefully to the right things, but you also have to say no. And you also have to say that's not a priority or that's not important or that's a hard pass or whatever that looks like. How do you navigate that? And how have you, I assume, gotten better at that over the past decade of doing it? Because saying no and saying this is not important for me is something that's really, really difficult for myself and a lot of men who might be listening.
It's super, super difficult. And I've actually, I've hired coaches before to help me understand how to prioritize and how to say no. And sometimes the best way is, my heart is saying yes, but my schedule's saying no. It doesn't always have to be just a no and an abrupt thing. And people are like, oh, what's up with this guy? It's like that you can approach it in a way where it's like, man, I really want to be there, but this is just not aligning with my schedule and my family's time and this and that. But I've struggled with that, because there's a lot of good intention from a lot of people. And one thing, I guess, it has given me the most power and ability to do that is having a set of core values that can dictate whether we do something or not. It's kind of like bringing people into the team. They're going to come with different personalities. They're going to come with different backgrounds and understandings of things. And I hate drama. I hate conflict. And so sometimes if you just say, okay, yes, do this, it's like, okay, then you get that conflict off, but it's going to come back because that didn't align with what you were thinking or your vision of things. It's very easy for me to bring somebody into my office and say, this action or this approach is not aligned with the value of trust. And we have all agreed when we joined the Mountain Ops team that these core values would be how we operate, how we make decisions. And so having that, on the wall in the handbook and then trained on every month, that makes it easier for all of us to just have a clear understanding, expectation of how we make decisions and how we might need to say no at times. And, we just had somebody that spoke at an event for us and he said, we all have our to-do lists, right? These things we want to do and everyone's bidding for our attention. So we put it onto a to-do list. And he's like, that's good. And it gives us that dopamine, we're checking things off, but what about the to-don't list? And there's things we just should not do and cannot do. One of the books we read as a company for our book club that we do was Essentialism. And really, when it comes down to it, is like if we have a very strong mission and vision, and we have a strategic plan to go with it, and there's these pillars of our strategic plan, are our decisions aligning with that, or are these things we're putting in place contrary to those things? And that just allows the whole team. But you've got to be very clear and concise, and everyone's got to be bought into that. And then you can say, hey, this just doesn't align. So let's get back to the essentials of what does fulfill the need for the mission that we're going after. And it's just a progress over time, and we're sometimes we do really well at it, and sometimes we're like, hey, we're kind of straying off course. We need to bring ourselves back. But I can't stress enough the core values of Mountain Ops and my own life, and those things that kind of can keep me in the guardrails to make sure we're saying yes to the right things and no to the things we shouldn't focus on.